Why are you hiding? Why are you hiding? Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about quadrilaterals, but more specifically parallelograms. So parallelograms. They have congruent, parallel, opposite sides. They have congruent opposite angles. And diagonals bisect each other. They look kind of like this. A rhombus is a type of parallelogram where all sides are congruent and diagonals bisect opposite angles. And then diagonals bisect each other. They look kind of like this. A rectangle is another type of parallelogram where all angles are congruent and the diagonals are congruent. They look kind of like this. So these are all within the realm of parallelograms. Now, rhombuses and rectangles don't really overlap, but they share a shape that shares properties. The square, which looks like this. The square has a combination of all the properties. Of both of these special ones. So that was a really fast overview. So we're gonna take one shape at a time and break it down. So this is a parallelogram. In a parallelogram, opposite sides are congruent and parallel. Remember, the arrows represent parallel, the lines represent if it's congruent or not. They also have congruent opposite angles. And the diagonals bisect each other. So that means this diagonal part here is congruent to this part, and this part is congruent to this part. There's a lot more properties that we could explore with these, but those are the major properties that you need to be aware of. Next is the rhombus. Again, a specific type of parallelogram. So this one, opposite sides are all equal. But it's very important to understand that this is parallel to this, and these are parallel to each other. They might all be congruent, but they're not all parallel to the same sides. So diagonals bisect each other. Just to be clear too. Okay? Another important piece of information is not only do they bisect each other, but they bisect at 90-degree angles. And these angles, so these angles are opposite angles, are congruent, but this also divides the angles into equal pieces. Next, we have the rectangle, where all angles are congruent, 90-degree angles. Opposite sides are congruent and parallel. So not only the diagonal is congruent, but they bisect each other equally. And that's it. There's a lot of other things we could also talk about with different parts of it, but those are the main properties. Last but not least, we have the square. The square connects all of them together. All the properties. Opposite sides are congruent and parallel, but these are all congruent. Diagonals intersect at a 90-degree angle. Diagonals are congruent. They also bisect each other. Angles are all congruent. And last but not least, all the angles are bisected in the same way. That's it.